Booting up here. All right. We are live. It's Supervisor Matt Slater with our Highway Superintendent Dave Paganelli. It is Wednesday, August 5th, and we wanted to provide a quick update on the storm. Currently, according to NYSEG, there are 26,000 residents across Westchester County without power. In Yorktown, there are 4,400 residents without power out of 6,500 which they serve. Con Edison has approximately 4,000 without power out of the 8,400 in Yorktown that they serve as well. So we are still trying to make progress in the restoration efforts. I understand that NYSEG has started to provide a global ETR for NYSEG customers. Unfortunately, that is a few days away because of the intense damage that was done to our infrastructure. But for those who do need, the JV Mall, our partners at the Jefferson Valley Mall, have graciously offered to allow us to utilize them as a cooling and a charging station. And so you can do that up at the food court. You do have to wear a mask because of the COVID restrictions. They are open until 7 p.m. Every night. So tomorrow night they'll be open until 7 p.m. So if anyone wants to take a break and get some AC or charge any of your devices, you can go up to the food court. Important also to please note that no social gathering is allowed. Again, that is part of the COVID-19 protocol that the mall has instituted as part of their reopening. And this is, again, making this even more difficult because we're trying to manage the power restoration throughout town in conjunction with the COVID parameters that we continue to manage as well. And so I'm joined again with Highway Superintendent Paganelli. We wanted to provide the town of Yorktown another update as to where we are with the restoration efforts. And Dave, could you just provide the residents with, I know you're out in your truck yet again, another late night for you. Early morning and late night. I got to tell you, I just am so thankful for you and your crew. I know you all have been working around the clock, and the residents know you've been working around the clock. And so I just want to thank you and the members of the Highway Department. I also want to thank our police department, specifically, of course, Chief Noble, but Craig Scatola, Sergeant Scatola, who's been just fantastic running the EOC. We do have our EOC open. It's virtual because of, again, COVID. So we do have a virtual EOC that's operational. And also, of course, the Mohegan Lake Fire Department and the Yorktown Fire Department who continue to answer emergency calls that continue to come in despite power outages and COVID. But really a big thank you to you, Dave, for your incredible leadership during the power outage. So why don't you provide the residents with a quick update as to where we're at?
And thank you for constantly being there for us. We appreciate it as well. We were fortunate enough today to have a NYSEG cut and clear crew dedicated specifically to highway. I took them out with one of my crews, and the way it works is we have tickets that for job orders, so to speak. We cleared 26 tickets, which was 41 trees that were on power lines. So they did a yeoman's work today. So we are so grateful to NYSEG for getting our roads open. We had a few roads that were landlocked. We did have a special resident on Gregory that needed to get out for a doctor's appointment, and we had residents locked in on Hemlock, and they just did a wonderful job, and we're just very happy that we had them with us. In addition to that, we had 4 crews out clearing trees that were not in the wires, that had fallen even from last evening. So, that's basically it. Tomorrow we will be on Halleck's Mills Road. That's unfortunately a little more complicated. But by then, NYSEG is basically done other than their restoration. I had spoken to our person at NYSEG. I know they got the police department up today, which was crucial, and we're very grateful to them for that. I know that a high priority of yours has been to get our sewer plant open, of course.
Absolutely.
And I was just told about a half an hour ago that they will definitely have that open tomorrow. Great. And as well as the downtown area
of the Heights, correct?
The Heights, yep. So good. They're really going to bat for us.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, I also want to thank Verizon because the cell tower that's located at the police department was down for quite some time. And
Yep.
working with Chief Noble and Lieutenant DeLulio, we were able to get that tower back up and running, which obviously was a critical piece of our communication infrastructure for our police department. So I do want to thank our friends at Verizon for that. In addition, we did have some ice and water distribution that occurred earlier today in the Triangle Shopping Center. We are going to actually have some dry ice tomorrow. We expect that to be delivered to the town of Yorktown early in the morning, and we encourage, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves like we did today, but we do encourage the residents to check our social media channels for the information. We'll also send out a Nixle alert as well as a blast email with the exact time and location as to where you can go pick up your dry ice and your bottled water. So combined with the efforts from our friends at NYSEG, as well as again, the dry ice and the bottled water actually is coming from NYSEG. It's coming from their distribution center over in Carmel, and we appreciate that. Combined with the Jefferson Valley Mall being a cooling and a charging station, we're doing everything we can, again, considering the parameters of COVID, to provide safe places for people to go to get some relief, to charge their devices, so make sure that their cell phones are usable. And again, a big thank you to NYSEG and a big thank you to the Highway Department for their great works. Absolutely. And so for Con Ed customers, as I said earlier, we do have about 4,000 people who remain out of about approximately 8,400 people from Con Ed. Both Highway Superintendent Paganelli and I have been in touch with the Con Ed representatives. I wish I had better things to report than that we're in touch with them. We're hoping that we're going to see some better action tomorrow. They are still pulling out of FDR Park. That's located in the town of Yorktown. We are aware of at least one crew, correct, Dave? One crew today that was down over Spring Valley Road. But we're trying to work more closely with Con Ed management to be able to provide more direction to hopefully expedite their make safe efforts, just like we did today, and we're going to do tomorrow with NYSEG. But again, the damage to this storm rivals that of Hurricane Sandy. Not that frankly makes anyone feel any better, but again, the magnitude of the damage stretches from the state of Virginia all the way up through Maine. And so trying to get crews to come down has proven a challenge, but we're still hopeful that Con Ed's going to be able to work with us and restore people as quickly as they can. And also provide some additional resources to the town.
Well, it's good that you say that, because it keeps it, it puts it in context. It was a short, very short storm, but the damage was so significant.
Right.
That Sandy lasted 10 times longer, but the damage was equivalent.
Right.
I think it's important for people to understand that. People have been saying to me all day, "Oh, it's not too bad, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's quite bad. And multiple poles snapped, multiple wires all over the place. So, but NYSEG is getting it done."
Absolutely. And I believe the last correspondence we got from our friends over at NYSEG, they had approximately 161 poles that had snapped in the Brewster region alone. And so NYSEG obviously providing an abundance of communication and action for the town of Yorktown, which is great. Again, overall, NYSEG had approximately 74,000 residents in the Brewster division, which includes the town of Yorktown, that were without power. And their work with our highway department has been tremendous. And so for our NYSEG customers, we are continuing to work with our partners over in NYSEG in the Brewster division to make safe those trouble areas. And then we can have that estimated time of restoration. I understand that their estimated time of restoration is approximately this Saturday, if not Sunday, for NYSEG, just to give people a time point of reference as to when to expect power to return. Again, Con Edison is in a different situation. They're again also comparing it to Hurricane Sandy, saying this is the second worst power outage that they've experienced since Hurricane Sandy because of the infrastructure damage. We're hoping to get more communication out of them. Also, for our Optimum customers, I did speak with Optimum today. There is damage over in Katona that impacted 30,000 Optimum customers. And so when I was on the phone with them earlier today, their expectation was to be able to repair this one piece in Katona, and then that would be able to provide service to Optimum customers, assuming that your lines are not down and that you do have power. So those are the two prerequisites, obviously, to ensuring that your Optimum service is restored. But that was the latest from Optimum as well.
Okay, sounds great.
Anything you want to add?
I just want to thank you for your incredible diligence with respect to, being on the other side of it. We're the boots on the ground and you're the brains in the air. That.
I remember that.
That being said, you are advocating, incredibly well for the residents of Yorktown. Seriously.
Team effort.
As I'm out trying to get, trees down, you're on the phone constantly, fighting for us. So we appreciate that.
No, and the entire town board, quite frankly, and I've spoken with every board member.
They were during the day.
I know our board members were out distributing ice and water earlier today. Unfortunately, I was on a conference call. But I'm surprised I don't have like the cell phone indent to my face right now for having it stuck to my head for almost 14 hours at this point. But it's a great team we have for the town of Yorktown. The residents really should know that the town was ready for this storm. Our highway department was ready for this storm. But unfortunately, as I've stated earlier, we are at the mercy of utility companies. And so their restoration efforts really dictate much of what happens here. It dictates the tempo of this game. And we're doing our best to coordinate and partner with our utility companies to expedite that process. But it really comes down to your point, the boots on the ground, to our highway department in particular, and our police department, and the town should, despite the frustrations, and I acknowledge them, I fully acknowledge them. Again, we're still without power at my house, but the frustrations are real. I get it, but just know that the town of Yorktown is doing everything in its capability to expedite the process and partner with as many people as we can to bring power back to the town as quickly as we can, hopefully by this weekend. But again, Dave, thank you so much to you and your workers.
Thank you.
It does not go unnoticed.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, Yorktown, just stay safe. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Again, please check our Facebook page, our social media pages, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you.